Hello. Thank you. You all too kind. You all too kind. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? How are we doing on what did I call Thursdays? Thursdays is I got to come up with a name for Thursdays. We got Flyaway Fridays. We got Hump Day Wednesdays. I'm trying to, just give me a minute. I'm gonna work it out. How's everyone doing? Oh, we got a packed house today, don't we? Hello, everyone. What's up? Got Miss Tish in the house. Miss Tish, excuse me. Donna. Hello, Miss Lori. How are you? How are you? All right, Barbara. What's up? What's up? Hey, everyone. Oh, gosh, the love is overwhelming. Gosh, you guys, you just make me so emotional at times. No, I'm just kidding. I'm stoic. I'm a man. Can't be emotional. Anyways, guys, how we doing today? Everybody's doing okay? I hope everyone's doing well. Oh, let me clear my throat. Give me a second. Oh, please like the video, guys. Like the video. Hit the like button. It is absolutely free. Takes nothing to just smash that like button. Go over to whoever's on Facebook. Please transition over to YouTube right now at this second. Please. YouTube, Facebook to YouTube right now. And don't forget to subscribe. Please do not forget to subscribe because we're going to get into some craziness. We're going to get into some craziness. And you guys, come on. We're all part of the Fair Media family here. So you know we have to expose some evil, right? We got to expose some evil doers. Some terrible things going on in this world today. And very few people are adept to it and aware, unfortunately. So I have been dispatched by the Lord to shine a light on the evil. Okay? That's just, don't worry about it. It's just part of my job. I'm sorry. I'm just having fun, guys. I'm just having fun. But you guys all saw the thumbnail, right? And I'm sure you're quite curious as to what is he getting at? Like, beware witches today? What? This isn't the Salem witch trials. What's going on? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that, yes, we still have witches today. But, disclaimer, the witch of yesteryears are not the witches of today, okay? They come in all different forms and all different shapes and all different sizes. And they're very, very cunning, okay? And you got to understand, and to all my Christians out there, if you guys are pretty familiar with the Bible, God really talks about these things in quite in detail. He really does. I mean, think about it. The Witch of Endor, the soothsayers, those who claim to have divinations, familiar spirits, if you guys are familiar with that. Yes, they are still predominant and prevalent today. I promise you, and I'm going to prove it to you. But before we do, I just kind of want to highlight a few things and highlight some of the characteristics of what these witches possess. Okay? And let's see. You guys are not going to see this, but I'm just kind of going to go down the list. I'm going to kind of talk about each one of them. And then I'm going to play a video. And then I'm going to play some more videos, a few TikTok videos. And, okay. So, how can I put this? If you have experienced some sort of trauma in your life, okay? And I'm speaking specifically to women. Women, well, when they're younger girls, like teenagers, are very susceptible to hysteria, okay, and social contagions. That's why you see women more so kind of aligning with this kind of witchcraft, universe thing, live your truth, and amongst other things. And it gets kind of trendy. I mean, when I play this video, guys, you guys are going to be shocked by what this woman tells you. Because, like I said, a lot of younger women are falling for this this deception. And Look, this is why I say we have to restore masculinity. We have, because men, we are the safeguards. Why do you think the devil chose to seduce Eve? Why didn't he go to Adam first? Think about that for a second. He beguiled Eve. He wholly seduced Eve first. Okay? Because the woman, okay, guys, don't kill the messenger, but the woman is the weaker vessel. Okay? Women are a lot more emotional, a lot more prone to, what do you want me to say? I mean, all right, so here are some of the characteristics. So if you hear women use these terms, or or if they indulge in some of these practices, ladies and gentlemen, you might be dealing with a witch. All right. Wait a second. What did he say here? Let's see what you said here. Ronnie said, bruh, the answer to that question is so simple. I hope that you know that the reason why Satan was able to do CDF was because Adam walked with Jehovah every day, so he couldn't get to Adam. He had to go to the one. I mean, okay. If you're saying that Adam is the direct line to God, then yeah, I agree. The man is supposed to be, the spiritual order is as follows: God over Christ, Christ over man, man over woman. Okay. That is the spiritual order. That's how it's supposed to be. So as long as that spiritual order is broken, you're susceptible to hedonism, sin, all these other things. But guys, I don't want to make this a sermon, okay? I want to keep the focus on these witches. So let's go ahead. So these are some of the characteristics. If you ever hear women talk about vibrations, vibrations, okay? It's kind of a vague concept, right? It's like, yeah, I don't like the vibe he gives off, or his vibrations are low. That's abstract, okay? That's in the abstract, okay? It's not biblical. Manifestations. Manifest your truth, girl. I'm just gonna manifest a husband. I'm gonna manifestation. Live your truth. Now let's pause there for a second. Live your truth. That sounds a little bit like Aleister Crowley's "Do What Thy Wilt." Does it sound a bit familiar? Live your truth. There's no such thing as your truth. I'm just going to unequivocally say that. There's one truth, that is God's truth, the will of God in his truth. Energy. His energy is bad. Now, look, I know we all kind of casually use that term, and I get it, but I'm talking about women who make this language a lifestyle. They literally incorporate this sort of speech into their interactions. Yeah, you're right. It's all about self. You got women who use healing crystals or sage or incense. Now, look, I love incense. I love the way they smell. I got them around my house, all that good stuff. However, when you're using them to cleanse your home, no. God actually has clear instructions on how you're supposed to go about that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you're supposed to use the olive oil, the oil of our people. Look, that's just what I know. Tarot cards. Now that's a clear indication. Spell candles. You may hear this rhetoric about the new age world, the age of Aquarius. Okay. And the worst of them all are Christian feminists. Oh my goodness. Those are wolves in sheep's clothing, because they come across as these holier than thou's, above pretentious, persnickety, arrogant people. Well, they're above reproach. I've never done wrong a day in my life. And typically these people are completely foreign to the idea of repentance. So, all right, so let's go ahead and play this video because I think it's going to give us a little bit more context into what we're talking about tonight. Palm reading, yes, Tish, you're right. Palm readings, guys. Everyone from Facebook, please transition over to YouTube and hit that like button, and do not forget to subscribe. All right, I want to see that subscriber count go up exponentially, please. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. And I thank you guys. I really do. Thank you all for tuning in. Doctors are witches. Do your research, buddy. Okay, I never said they aren't, but I mean, there are good doctors, and there are absolutely there are evil doctors. Absolutely. I mean, you got to remember, we're in a spiritual war. Oh yeah, Merritt, you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of the game, Merritt. But let's back it up. All right, hold up. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button. Everybody from Facebook, move on over to YouTube, please. The Real Unwoke. Please drop that link for me, Lori. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. And it's trendy now, guys. It is absolutely trendy. It's in the music. It's permeated, corporations. I mean, now they're pushing it. They're literally pushing it. And remember what I said earlier. Young girls, teenage girls, they're more at that age. They're very hormonal, and the development process for young women is different than young men. Women, they kind of got to work out a lot more things than we do, and in that process, they sort of try to find their identity, and typically through the collective. So whatever the group identifies with, young girls are more or less likely to subscribe to whatever the group think is. And listen, there's scientific literature behind this, guys, before you guys call me a misogynistic a-hole. But seriously. All right, here we go. Watch this, guys. Watch this. All right. There you go. All right, so this woman is going to detail exactly her experience, what it's like being a witch, and everything we just talked about. Pay attention to those buzzwords that we just went over.
Jenny Weaver, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. My first question, before we dig into the meat of this interview, you were very heavily involved in witchcraft at one point in your life. Just really quickly, for people who don't know your testimony, who don't know your story, how did you get involved in witchcraft?
Yeah, around the age of 13, I was started to get depressed. I was being bullied at school. And even though I was in a Christian home, my parents did.
Remember what I told you about trauma, okay? When younger women typically experience some level of trauma, and it's severe enough to completely push them into like a depression, that's oh my gosh, that is the hot spot for a lot of demonic spirits, because you're at your weakest point.
The best that they could, but they were heavily on the side of just abuse. And so when you were in trouble, you were beat. And so I believe the enemy used that to come against my self-worth, who I thought I was. And I was so depressed. I just thought, if I would die, life would be better for everybody else. And so during that time, I was connected with some girls, and I remember going to a sleepover, and they watched a movie called The Craft.
See?
And this movie came out
what did I tell
1996.
You? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Younger girls are trying to find an identity at that age. Teenage girls, they're trying to identify who they are, find a sense of self-identity, a self-worth.
and 4 witches who were in high school. And these witches were bullied and picked on, and their lives were kind of messed up. And they used witchcraft to control situations around them and to get what they wanted. I watched the movie and I thought, I want that. Well, of course, in the movie, they went too far anyway. And the witchcraft had turned against them. And the girls were desperate to get out of it.
There you go.
But during that point, I didn't even see that ending. I just thought, oh, I won't go that far.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be innocent in it. And I began to study the religion of Wicca.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
And study different spells and incantations and new age practices and
you hear that?
Practices.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, she's using every single buzzword I just went over. She just went over every buzzword. The spells, the new age practices, all of these things. Okay. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, guys, but I promise you, since the inception of feminism, which I think personally was a spell in itself, because it completely convinced a lot of women they are some, I don't know, they're just above men. They're not just equal to men, they are superior to men. That's what feminism excuse me, that's what feminism has done to women today. It's completely hijacked their nature. Let's continue.
And so what started off as something innocent, where I'm just connecting with energy and the universe and vibes.
There you go. Oh my God. Universe, vibes.
Took me down a path of just dark desperation.
Yep.
I felt at one point that I was living in.
And ladies and gentlemen, look. Ladies and gentlemen, I will say this, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep stopping the video, but I won't stop it anymore. But listen, I gotta say this. God gives us discernment. You don't have to use all of these, arbitrary terms such as frequencies, vibration, chakra. No. God gives us the gift of discernment. That's what you use. That's how you determine whether or not you're dealing with someone who is of the light or someone who is of the dark.
Because I was hearing scratches on the wall right next to me. I would feel a brush by me and be terrified that somebody is here in the room with me.
Everyone who's on Facebook, please transition over to YouTube, please.
When I would wash my face for the day, it was one of the most terrifying things that I did. When I took a shower and I had to close my eyes, I was so terrified. If I had to get up in the middle of the night to get a glass of water, I would run because I thought something's going to.
Uh-oh.
Set you free, Jenny, and we're so
okay, cool. Now check this out. Now I'm gonna play a few TikToks, because what did I say earlier, ladies and gentlemen? I said that it is becoming more and more trendy to indulge in this witchcraft practices. Okay, it has become more trendy, socially acceptable. And as I said earlier, women, younger women in particular, are susceptible to the hysteria. Absolutely. Check this out. Uh-oh. All right, get out of here. Please, everyone from YouTube, Facebook, transition over to YouTube. Go subscribe to the channel, The Real Unwoke, The Real Unwoke. We are unwoken people one day at a time. All right, here we go. I don't know which one it is. I think this might be it. Spiritual. No, not that one. Oh, here we go. Okay. Spiritual. Oops. Here we go.
Person's vibration by how they walk. If they walk super light and you don't really hear their footsteps, the vibration is very high because they're energetically lighter. If they walk very hard and heavy and it sounds like Bigfoot, their vibration is very low and their energy is heavy. You can tell a person's vibration by how they walk. If they walk super
Vibration.
light and you don't really hear their footsteps, the vibration is very high because they're energetically lighter. If they walk very
Yep.
hard and heavy and it sounds like Bigfoot, their vibration is very low and their energy.
See, you hear the way she's talking? Nothing when she's talking about. Hold up. Let me. No, lady. Okay, lady. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We heard you. We heard you. Nothing what she said is biblically based, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing what she stated is biblically based. It's not biblically accurate. Okay? I didn't read any. I read the Bible. I haven't read the full Bible. I mean, because I study, but I've never read anywhere about determining someone's vibrations, determining who someone is based off their vibrations. I didn't read that verse. If someone has read that in the Word of God, please state to me where that is. Hold up. What is this? This is extremely biased. If you're going to talk about the practice of witchcraft, then talk about all of it. Like I said before, doctors practice medicine, and medicine means pharmaceutical, and pharmaceutical means witchcraft. Why do you think they speak about natural medicine and call it an alternative prescription and prescribe you poison and you have anything? The side effects more. Listen, Jamela, I think I'm saying your name correctly. I have never absolved all doctors of potentially practicing witchcraft. I said there are good elements in everything in life, good and bad and everything. Okay. Now, are there certainly doctors out there who practice witchcraft? Absolutely. Are you vigilant enough to spot them? Okay. I mean, think about the doctors that are diagnosing our children with this whole gender dysphoria garbage. I'd certainly classify those as witch wizards or whatever you want to call them. I'm not absolving doctors at all. Absolutely not. Hold up, but check this video out here. I want y'all to see this girl actually just tells you exactly when it's another TikTok, because again, TikTok is where it's just a repository of all idiocy, where a lot of young women get on there and they just kind of like, I don't know, tell on themselves. Warlocks and witches, absolutely. I don't know how it's biased. I'm not saying it's, like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you. So yeah. What's the video? Is that it? I think that's it. Okay. No, that's oops. No. Here we go. Okay. All right. Here we go. Spirituality. Check this out. Meditation. Oops, let me start it over. How my spiritual journey began accidentally. How my spiritual journey accidentally turned into witchcraft. And I promise you, this is par for the course for a lot of young women, particularly those who don't have fathers and who have experienced some deep level of trauma. How my spiritual journey accidentally turned into witchcraft. Meditation. This is good, right? Start collecting crystals and learning about them. Becoming obsessed with incense and how to cleanse. What did I say? Learning how to read tarot cards, doing shadow work, and writing manifestations in a normal journal, leather journal, swapping regular candles for spell candles, casting spells, being drawn to books about witchcraft. Yep, there it is. Oh gosh, see? Oh, yep, we already know what that is. It's a pentagram. Yep. learning about herbs and their properties. See, this is all, you would think this is all benign stuff. Like this stuff is harmless, right? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not all of it. And listen, I'm not going to negate the fact that there are healing properties and you know, some herbs are really good for you. I mean, I take some herbs. But again, it's about making this into a lifestyle. Okay? It's actively practicing witchcraft. Using herbs for protection, making an altar. What did she say? Making an altar and casting spells. Oh, God. Right. There it is. There it is. What did I say? Okay, let me close this out. And there's a couple other things I want to show you guys. So I was reading this article in Atlantic, and remember what I said about feminism? How feminism has completely hijacked the nature of a lot of women today. All right, here we go. Why is witchcraft on the rise? Let's read this here from the Atlantic. I'm just going to read this little excerpt, this paragraph here. So, all right, guys. So check this out. In the United States, mainstream interest in witches have occasionally waned, but mostly waxed, usually in tandem with the rise of feminism and the plummeting of trust in establishment ideas, traditional values, okay? Judeo-Christian traditional values. In the plummeting of those values, you see in correlation, you'll see the rise of feminism. In the 19th century, transcendentalism and the women's suffrage movement took hold. Witches enjoyed the beginnings of a rebranding. Oh my goodness. Rebranding. So they're not walking around with broomsticks anymore. They're not luring little kids into candy houses. They're not doing that anymore. They have a more covert way of presenting themselves. From wicked devil worshippers to intuitive wise women. Woodstock and second wave feminism were a boon for witches, whose popularity spiked again following the Anita Hill hearings in the 90s and after Donald Trump's election and alongside the Me Too movement. Oh my gosh. What did the Me Too movement do? What did it do? It silenced a lot of men. Because men were listen. Look, I think the Mike Pence rule, guys. To all my men, to all my fellas out there, guys, follow the Mike Pence rule, because at the burgeoning of the Me Too movement, oh my gosh, men were scared to come out and say anything because you'll be castigated as, you know, as a chauvinistic or a sexual deviant. You couldn't say anything. They had to find a way to suppress men. Absolutely. Hit that like button, everybody. Hit that like button, please. All right. What we got here? Oops. So I think it's important that a lot of that we be aware of how these people present themselves, how these witches present themselves, because like I said, it's very cunning. They can be decent, really good people. But unbeknownst to you, they're pagan worshipers. And listen, remember what I said about the whole Christian feminism? Oh gosh, that, like I said, that's something to be wary of, because those type of women will use God to mask their dysfunction, their chaotic minds. They'll use God. Oh God bless me, you know, sanctified, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. When they're raging devils. And listen, another thing that these women can leverage is their beauty. They'll leverage their beauty. I know someone mentioned in the comments earlier about Beyonce and you know, all of these Hollywood stars, these celebrities. Yeah, absolutely. Idolatry, pedestalizing, deifying themselves, and casting spells in their music, casting spells to their audience during their performances. I mean, it's so overt right now, it's so in your face. I don't understand how anyone could miss it. They're putting it directly into your face because they think you're too stupid to even recognize it. You're too stupid to pick up on it. They don't have to hide behind a veil of, you know, in a secret society anymore. Now it's just right out there in the open. Another characteristic about these witches is that they'll leverage their femininity. They'll leverage their femininity to trick you, to trick other women into empowerment. Okay? They're tricksters, deceivers. I can think of a couple of people right now, just off the top of my head. Kim Kardashian, i.e. Hillary Clinton. Oh, yeah. Yep. Hollywood glamorizes witches. I should have played the rest of the video, but this woman was also going to say that they're actually marketing like witchcraft clothing. Seriously, you can go to Marshall's and find this stuff. Talking in tongues. Yeah, that's another thing about another character flaw about these Christian feminists. They say the Lord spoke to me today. That feel good doctrine. The Lord spoke to me today. And then you'll see them, you know, later on, if you go to these churches. I don't attend any of these churches. I don't attend none of them because they're not even houses of God. They're not. Think about it. You see these people possessed. I mean, they are literally possessing people. These so-called pastors, they're possessing people. People are getting possessed. Speaking in tongues. It's certainly not a Holy Spirit. It's definitely not the Spirit of God. It's turkey garble. I didn't fall for that crap. Thank God I was educated enough to actually kind of read into that and find out what the whole speaking in tongues thing was all about. And if you could read it in the book of Acts, pretty much it was a clothing tongue that went out to that the apostles spoke, that everyone who listened, even those who were from like foreign nations, understood it in their dialect, all the way down to their colloquial tongue. But you know, most people are not gonna read up on it or study for themselves. Most people just like to be spoon-fed and seduced. Let's see. And another thing about another character trait, these women are zero accountability. What is that about? Speaking of tongues things. Yeah, you got to read in the book of Acts. Reading the book of Acts, pretty much. I mean, I'll rehash it a little bit, but the apostles spoke in a clothing tongue that everyone who heard it, even those who came from afar were able to discern and understand what was said. It was not just meant for the preacher to interpret it. Everyone who was there, like, it's really, really plain and simple if you just go read it. But, you know, you're not supposed to say that. Everyone from their dialect, I mean, like I said, there were people from many different nations who heard this clothing tongue, and they said, oh my gosh, how is it that I understand what they're saying? And they are not of my nation. They are not from where I originate. But no, you got people in church, you got people in these so-called churches today. Yeah, it's Babylon. It's just Babel. That's what it is. You're right, James. It's Babel. Another character trait about these women is that these witches, is that they like to pedestalize themselves. Okay, they'll walk around, call themselves queens, divas, bosses. Right. As look, if we were back in when there were monarchies, peasants wouldn't typically call themselves royalty. Okay, I mean, if we went back to those bygone years, people didn't just walk around and call themselves these didn't aggrandize themselves and call themselves these esteemed titles. Okay, but you have it, you know, it's prevalent today. Women walk around and they aggrandize normal stuff. Neil, how about thought about Thursday? I'm not understanding. What are you asking me, darling? Okay, so I want to read a little bit more about the teenage girl thing, about the hysteria. And look, guys, go get the book. It's called Transgenderism. I think that's what it's called. But it's by Abigail Schreier. Abigail Schreier. Go read that book. She completely blows the lid off this fallacy of gender dysphoria. She completely blows it up. But anyway, she details that hold up. In the last 10 years, the dominant demographic of those claiming to have gender dysphoria are young teenage girls with no childhood history. Teenage girls fall for every hysteria. It is the single most population susceptible to social contagion. Young teenage girls have a propensity to spread and share their pain into talking themselves into certain conditions. Misery loves pain. Young teens are convincing themselves that their problem is their gender. This is witchcraft too, guys. This is witchcraft. You're spiritually beguiling these doctors. Back to what the young lady was saying earlier. Yes, doctors they're culpable as well, because they are literally spiritually seducing young teenage girls at a very vulnerable state of mind, that their problem is not that they're going through hormonal development. It's that they're the wrong gender. That's modern day witchcraft as well. Witches, warlocks, and wizards. Hold up. Teenage girls tend to spread these psychic epidemics because their mode of friendships involve co-rumination. So they need other people, other teenage girls, taking on their friends' pain. They like to rehash their own pain and taking on their friends' pain. They are even willing to suspend reality. Remember what I said about the abstract? Live your truth, girl. the universe, vibes, these arbitrary terms that don't mean nothing. They are even willing to suspend reality in order to get on the team of their friends. Young women are encouraging each other in self-harm. Socially spread self-harm. Because younger women are susceptible to social contagions, i.e., gender dysphoria, i.e., witchcraft, i.e., I mean, come on, do we really gotta go? Promiscuity, right? And then you got these. I don't want to use the word because I might I might get binged for it, but you got these dirty women in the music industry, teaching young women to follow their hedonistic pursuits, to become essentially hedonistic. Listen, guys, this all happens when the spiritual order of God has been broken. When there is no man there, when there is no father there, you are susceptible to the world of sin. You are completely open up to it. That's why women are supposed to leave the headship of their father to the headship of their husbands. But what does feminism tell them? Oh, no, you don't need that. You don't need that. Go on and live your best years. Live your truth, girl. Live your truth. It's the vibe. It's a sad state of affairs, guys. It really is. And I just wanted to bring this to attention because I don't think a lot of men are really hip to what's happening. And a lot of guys end up with the wrong woman and consequently have their entire life destroyed because they weren't able to discern whether or not they're dealing with a witch. Remember, women are the weaker vessel. And I'm talking about the Jezebel woman. I'm not talking about all women. So please, ladies, before you guys like, oh gosh, she's bashing women. No, I'm not. I'm talking about the Jezebel-minded woman, the witch, the modern day witch. These women here, those Jezebels, they're because they're women and they're the weaker vessel. They use reputation destruction, i.e., the Me Too movement. What do you think the Me Too movement was all about? Destroying men, the reputation of men. It's listen, being called being accused of sexual assault is as tantamount as being called a racist. We already know how scared people are of being labeled that. Don't call me a racist. Yes, the Jezebel. Yep. Modern day witches of Endor is what I'll say. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'll leave it at. I'm glad you guys all came in. I know this was kind of a short live, but I appreciate your time. Make sure you go subscribe to the channel if you have not. Click that notification bell, please. Click that notification bell so you are notified whenever I am going live. Uh-oh. Oops. And what else? I think that's it. I appreciate your time, guys. Lori, thank you. Janet, what's up? But yeah, remember, guys, what we're doing here. We're speaking truth and reality. And I promise you, we will reinstitute morality. Y'all have a good night.